You've always been a high achiever. You've always excelled at school, at extracurriculars, and in your profession. 4.0, valedictorian, top of your department, and yet the GMAT put you on your ass. This is surprisingly much more common than you might think, and the big secret is that no one talks about getting help. For many professionals, this is the first time in their academic or professional career where they needed to ask for help or engage a tutor. But if you're at one of these top consulting, finance, banking firms, you don't want to tell everybody, you don't want to ask around, say, oh, I need help with this. That shows weakness. And so one of the big secrets is if you're in a noteworthy profession, everyone's asking for help, but no one's talking about it. The GMAT is designed like many other psychometric exams, except that unlike the SAT, where everyone and their brother and sister are taking it, the GMAT is taken by a self-selected cohort that tend to be strong achievers, coming from the best schools, the best professional firms in banking and finance. And so the GMAT needs a way to differentiate among a lot of very smart, very high-achieving individuals. The way it does this is by testing your creative and critical thinking skills. They want to see how flexible you are with the base knowledge that was instilled in you in elementary, middle, and high school. They're not testing whether or not you know how to multiply fractions or parse a sentence. They expect you to know that. They're testing how well you can manipulate things on the fly. And to some extent, you can prepare and be familiar with the most common types of problems. Ultimately, as an adaptive exam, the GMAT will put you in a place where you are uncomfortable, where you're not sure what's going on in the problem. And it's this navigation that people who have done well at school tend to not do as well with. Let's explore why. School, for better or worse, is a reactive environment. You're given information and expected to spit it back or manipulate it a little bit and spit it back. But there are guardrails up there, kind of like bowling with those balloon tubes. It's very hard to get too off center because there's always a teacher or element of feedback or a grade that redirects you towards what you're supposed to be doing. Consequently, you're rewarded for following directions and are also robbed of the experience of failing heavily or not doing what's asked. And as such, you don't get the experience of solving problems when you are significantly lost. And this is what the GMAT is testing. So often, high achievers in academic environments tend to struggle because their study skills in sort of repeating and seeing what they've done and sometimes being creative with it tend to level off somewhere around the mid 600s on the GMAT. Whereas those students who maybe weren't as strong, went their own way or tended to be more creative, more artsy, tend to react to the GMAT like a fish in water, where all of a sudden the things that didn't allow them to succeed academically now become tremendous assets. And so, first things first, don't worry. This is an opportunity to capture new skills and grow as an individual. But at a deeper level, what you need to internalize, or what I would suggest you internalize, is the idea that what you've been doing for success up till now no longer works. And that is a scary prospect, especially when the carrot has always been a few feet in front of your face and you've consistently caught the carrot. So this represents psychologically, emotionally, a major shift in how you need to deal with achievement. And this is highly uncomfortable for a lot of people. It requires a lot of hard work. And the opiates that you've been using in terms of solution paths that have always worked for you, study schedules and study planning that have always worked for you, all of a sudden are like an addiction that you need to break. The hardest part of our job as GMAT instructors isn't so much showing you the new things that you need to do or teaching you new ways of doing things. but rather in helping you dehabituate, unlearn those things that have become so embedded that they're natural. And the upside of this is that when someone does so, they become much more flexible intellectually and are that much more prepared to really excel and take to heart the things they learn in business school and professionally beyond. So if you've always been an achiever and have been stopped in your tracks by the GMAT, don't worry, give us a call, let us learn a bit about you and speak to exactly what it is you might be doing that's working against you, and also those things that you might adjust in order to excel rapidly. And that's really the silver lining here. If you're really, really good at achieving, of working within frameworks, then once you adopt a new framework, the acceleration of GMAT success often happens rapidly. And this, to the extent that we can call this a profile, this profile is one of our favorites to work with because we tend to get really, really strong results. Often, and most of the time, over 700. So wishing you guys the best of luck. Give us a call. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.